Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now are Jeni, Fabian, and Kathy O'Malley of People's Resource Center. So welcome.
Thank you.
We're excited to hear more about your organization. And Jeni, I'm going to start with you. What's the mission of the People's Resource Center?
People's Resource Center exists to respond to basic human needs, promote justice and dignity, and create a future of hope and opportunity for residents of DuPage County.
That's a big mission. That's lots of things involved in that. So how did that all get started? I mean, what was the incubator for that?
I love the genesis of People's Resource Center, or PRC, as we call it for short. PRC was started in Wheaton by a group of concerned folks who saw their neighbors struggling with things like hunger and things like shelter, and they came together and decided to do something about it. And that first year, they gave out food from the basement of a home and served 125 families. That was in 1975, and today we are serving over 30,000 folks in DuPage County every year with food, with clothing, literacy support, job search support, and art programming to help create community and create joy along the way as we meet needs of our neighbors.
Wow, that's a huge growth, right? And that's really a full circle mission. I mean, right from the basic humanitarian needs all the way through to making sure that people still feel good and feel a sense of hope that there's a better tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
PRC is truly a community, and that's really what keeps us going.
Okay. Kathy, talk a little bit about some of the projects in terms of some of the things that you do there for your neighbors.
I would like to point out that some of the people who were handing food out through the basement window are still on our board.
That's right.
That's
some
awesome.
Some of our original people are still serving on the board. So I love that about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's something we're very passionate to get it started, but so nice to stay along and keep making sure it grows.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. So they've been volunteering forever. So in terms of volunteers, our volunteers are serving in I think most of them are in the food pantry, aren't they, Jeni? We have food pantries in Westmont and in Wheaton, and there are people there unloading cars, stocking shelves. They're among the, I think, 2,400 volunteers that make PRC go, because without them, our programs couldn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the programs that I love that Jeni didn't mention is the computer program.
Okay.
We provide computers. I mean, that's amazing. We provide computers because there's families whose kids need them for school.
Absolutely.
People need them for work, and when they can't afford a computer, PRC is there to help them with that.
That's amazing.
And when the computers go wonky, as
Which is
as
they
they
do, right?
Right, they fix them. It's a wonderful, amazing program.
That's an amazing network that you've got of
yes.
obviously lots of diverse volunteers.
Absolutely.
Right?
Gosh,
our
yeah.
computer refurbishing program is entirely volunteer run, and also our tutors for literacy programs and computer training classes are all volunteer driven as well.
Right.
You must be doing an amazing job of igniting that passion amongst your volunteers.
I think the best people in the world come to People's Resource Center, and I'm new with the organization, but it's just so inspiring to see the dedication and the caring of neighbors helping neighbors that really brings everybody together and keeps us moving forward.
Yeah, charity starts at home, and I think that's wonderful. I love the way you talk about it as the neighbors. Talk a little bit, if you would, about how people qualify. So how do people come to People's Resource Center?
Jeni, you probably are in a better position. I mean, I'm not sure what the exact criteria are for that. I know that a significant amount of our people who are receiving aid through us are working people.
Okay.
These are not people who are just, I'll go get something here. These are people who, many of them, are working. And they come to People's Resource Center and sit down with an intake volunteer, find out what their situation is, find out what they need, whether it's food or clothes or computers or whatever, ESL, a lot of English as a second language.
Okay.
And then we plug them into the programs that they need.
Okay.
It's a remarkable process that's been developed over the years to help people.
Our criteria are anyone who lives in DuPage County and has a need that we can help with.
Okay.
So we do ask some questions to help us understand what people's needs are and help them make sure that they know all the things that we provide.
Yeah. Well, and I think you both you mentioned something. I mean, you can be working and still not making enough of a living wage in order to be able to satisfy all the basic fundamentals that's needed, right, to manage a family.
Yes. Absolutely.
And we understand it's a very hard thing to come and ask for help when you can't feed your family. And
Sure,
so
right.
we always meet folks with a lot of compassion and as much caring, knowing that it's a difficult time in their lives when they're turning to us.
Sure. And do you see a lot of turnover? I mean, obviously, I'm sure that's one of the goals is to keep people moving and hopefully to be able to be self-sustaining. Do you see that happening a lot?
So I see what happens at PRC is doing two things. One, we're helping today. We're helping with that need you have for a warm coat or for a hot meal for your family today. And we're also helping you build a hopeful tomorrow, helping you improve your job prospects with coaching you on a resume or supporting you through a job search or helping you learn something new, learn a computer skill, learn a language. And that's what I think really helps point to a brighter future for the folks that we serve.
And I think it's significant to note that some of our volunteers were originally clients.
That's right.
That's a great
Right.
testament,
Yeah.
right? That's
Absolutely.
a great testament.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about why you feel the need is so great in DuPage County, because you talked about serving in DuPage County. So why are we seeing such a need here?
Absolutely. A lot of folks think that poverty is really an urban issue, and it used to be the case that about 70% of folks in this area who were in poverty were in the city of Chicago. Now it's about 50-50 between the city and the suburbs. So that landscape is really changing. We're seeing that change at PRC, and we're growing with that change and trying to support folks in stabilizing and having better lives.
Okay. Now, as we wrap up, how can they help you?
We love our volunteers. We are always interested in volunteers, whether you can serve an hour a week or 40 hours a month. We are always delighted to have people say, how can I help?
Okay.
And they can go to peoplesrc.org and begin the process there of becoming a volunteer.
Okay.
And they can also, on that web page, they can also donate to People's Resource Center. We're always happy for donations. We've had people come in and give us $1, and we're as delighted to get that as we are to get the larger checks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyone is welcome to come and visit our locations in Wheaton or in Westmont, and also check out our website, as Kathy mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay, well, wonderful. Well, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. And if you would like to learn more about how you can become a volunteer and support the PRC, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go away. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.